What is going on, guys? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. What is going on, guys? Today is the battery day, the Tesla annual shareholder meeting and battery day. So I thought that we'd do a live stream and just check out the price action, what's happening after hours. There are a few positions that we put on Tesla. If you're part of the trading group, you would know that. What's up, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. Actually, you know what? I will type it in the chat. Can you hear me? Volume up. All right. Let us turn the volume. Okay. Let me know. Is that volume good? Let me know. Up on the mic. Okay. Well, hopefully I don't blast your ears out. Let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me louder. Okay. So everyone's saying turn up the volume. I did. Let me know if that's enough. Volume is low. Maybe you should turn your speakers up, Kareem. Turn volume up a bit. All right. It should be fine. What's up, Harminder? He says loud and clear. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. What's up, Alex, Sabrina? What's going on? Egio, Vitor, John, Calhoun, Callan, Olivia, Sean. Wow, a lot of you guys in here. Good to see all of you. So for Tesla Battery Day, I mean, they do the shareholders meeting first, and what the shareholders meeting entails. They do, a bunch of trivial votes on official items, and then, it's basically a formality. They do a vote in which they re-elect the directors, including Elon Musk. Obviously, there isn't an expected change there. So that is pretty much the boring part. And then the battery day starts. There isn't really an exact time, I don't think, for when this will start. It just happens right after the shareholders meeting. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is really active on Twitter. So he already was trying to manage people's expectations yesterday, saying that there is some new battery technology coming down the pike in terms of in the form of a new battery cell that it has developed. But that technology is currently not scalable and won't reach serious high volume production until 2022. Now, there are a couple of reasons he could have done this. We all know that he likes to troll people, so there could be a major surprise that arises from the battery day presentation, or this could be 100% accurate and he's trying to tame expectations so that there isn't a huge surprise and potentially a big hit to the stock price. Speaking of the stock price, how did we play Tesla for battery day before and during today? What plays did we have? I did a video on this, mentioning the different approaches that one can take. Now, there was a misconception, I think, or I guess a lack of understanding. There was a thought that, if you just bought before battery day, then on battery day, you would end up being supremely rich. Now, the markets are efficient, right? So if you see an obvious play, usually it's too obvious for you to turn such a large profit overnight. Meaning, if there's an event or something that you know about beforehand, buying before and expecting it to rally much higher when everyone knows the same information is unlikely in the markets. That's what's meant when people say the markets are efficient. That if a play is too obvious, it's highly unlikely that you'll make a good amount of money from it. However, what I did say in that previous video is if Elon Musk announces something monumental and completely unexpected, then yes, we could see a price rally. Now, another thing that I've noticed is if you take a look, and I'll go over some of the plays in a second, but if you take a look at Tesla's price chart, looking at the 5-minute here, the way that I have it set up in Thinkorswim, the gray is the after hours. And if you take a look at some of the binary events, so, the 831, let's just say when the stock split happened. Was that 8:31? Jeez, I can't remember now. Yeah, 8:31 when the stock split happened. If we take a look at what happened after hours and pre-market, you'll see that, let's see where it was, 8:31. You'll see that during the after hours and pre-market, we tend to see these massive rallies, but they last only for a very short amount of time. Obviously, I'm on the wrong chart. I'm on Nike. But if we take a look at Tesla and go to 8:31, might take me a couple of seconds to get there. Okay. Here's 8:31. Here's the what happened after hours and the day or the pre-market before the split. You see that it rallied all the way up to 538. And if you go back to the previous earnings, which I think were on July 22nd, same thing happened. You'll see that a trend where in after hours and in the pre-market, during that binary event, we did have a lot of movement. So I expected that potentially to happen here. Maybe not on a large scale, depending obviously on what they announce, because it will still be after hours by the time they announce something. But you could see here on July 22nd, we had an after hours rally as well. So what I did say in the alerts, and again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. I did say that you can buy Tesla because we did have a 6% drop today. So I said that you could buy Tesla for a potential after hours and or pre-market run up and then sell into that rally as a short-term play. The other thing that we had open was an iron condor on Tesla. If you're not familiar with an iron condor, it's basically a neutral strategy where you need the price to be within a certain range. And our iron condor on Tesla, let me try and find the exact play so that I can show it to you. Right here, selling an iron condor on Tesla, expiring September 25th, which is this Friday. 375, 380 for the puts, 545, 550 for the calls. So essentially, we need Tesla to expire on Friday between $380 and $545. That is a very wide range. We sold it for a good amount, got $2.10 out of the potential $5 that it's worth. So got almost half of the value of the entire spread for opening this. So all we need Tesla to do by Friday is finish between $380 and $545, anywhere in that range, and we keep the entire premium of $210 per contract. So if we take a look at what Tesla is doing after hours right now, I think it's up a few dollars after hours, but let's see. Yeah, it's up to 429, and I think it closed today at 424. So it's up $5 after hours, and battery day hasn't even started yet. Let us take a look at the event itself. 2020 annual shareholder meeting and battery day. Yeah, I mean they just have a generic frame up here because the event hasn't started. Let me take a look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. You are looking at Nike. Yes, I realized that. Wrong chart. Yes. Nike battery day. Yes. I realized that. Why can't we hear the live Tesla meeting? Well, because the battery day hasn't started yet. That's why. But when the video plays, trust me, you definitely will hear it. But yeah, so if we take a look at what happened in the markets just until the battery day commences, let us take a look at NASDAQ, for instance. We saw that NASDAQ actually hit a full correction mode, right? We had a 14% correction on NASDAQ, and it didn't quite get to the 100 moving average, but we saw a nice bounce from there. Now, a couple of plays that we got into. We got into Amazon as it bounced off the 100 moving average. Excuse me. We got Amazon as it bounced off the 100 moving average. We're up around 8% on that. Facebook was in the same position at the 100-day moving average. And I mean, if you're not new to this channel, you know that I always advocate buying at these major moving averages when we're talking about blue chip stocks and growth stocks for the long term. Apple didn't quite hit the 100-day yet. It hit below the 50 moving average, and we actually saw a 26% drop on Apple. happy to pick it up here. I also sold some puts on Apple at $90. So we have some cash covered puts at Apple at 90. So if it hits 90, we end up buying Apple at $90. If not, then we keep the entire amount that we sold those puts for. So let me take a look at the chat again. You guys have any questions so far? Do you want me to take a look at any charts? Oh yeah, let's see. What computer are you trading from? Very smooth. Step-by-step trading. I'm using just a MacBook. It's actually a pretty powerful MacBook, but it's whatever, the most souped up MacBook Pro that you can get for this year. I think there's an issue with audio at Tesla. Melissa James says no, it's not an issue. It's that they haven't started the event yet. And actually, if you want me to check, we can see on their site as opposed to YouTube and see if there's any issue. Let's see if there's any audio. This is on their main site, but I guess it's the same YouTube link. It's actually linking. It looks like it's linking to this same exact video. So, well, we'll see. If audio comes in, then then you'll hear it. It'll blast through your ears. Let's see some more questions. Very smooth. How high do you expect it to go? Jaying Chong says. So apologies if I mispronounce any of your names. How high do I expect it to go? I mentioned this in the video that, there does seem to be natural resistance at 500. Not only is that a psychological number, 500, it's a big round number, right? There's such a thing called round number bias. But that also pre-split would represent a $2,500 share price, which is, I think, the max for Tesla at the moment. Obviously, we're not talking about, all-time high or in the long-term future. But, I did expect that if there is some really wild, monumental, unexpected announcement that we can hit close to 500. Now, we did hit about 465 earlier last week. So, we're not that far away from hitting 500. But, I don't expect it in the short term. Oh, see, I told you guys you would hear it. All right, I'm going to stop talking real quick.
We're really excited that you could be here with us today. My name is Al Prescott. I'm Tesla's Vice President of Legal. There'll be two parts of today's meeting. First, the formal part of the meeting will get out of the way, which will cover the 7 items that stockholders have been asked to vote on.
Hopefully it happens really quick.
Voting, I'll introduce Tesla's co-founder and CEO, Elon Musk, who will give a presentation about the company update and year in review. And then following the conclusion of the stockholder meeting, we'll start our separate Battery Day event. At this time, I'd like to thank the members of the Tesla team.
Let me know if you guys can hear it okay.
Those who were able to make it out here in person today, as well as to our representative from PricewaterhouseCoopers, Tesla's independent auditor, who's also here. But before we begin, I'd like to introduce you to Robin Denholm, the chairwoman of Tesla, who would like to say a few words remotely.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to sit through the whole shareholders meeting. I think what's important is the Battery Day, but...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Tesla shareholder meeting. A special welcome to the many Tesla shareholders that have joined us today in person, as well as online from across the country and around the globe. I wanted to start today's proceedings by thanking you, our shareholders, for your tremendous support over the last year, and especially to those of you who have
Turn it up, okay.
our journey over the past 10 years since the company's IPO in 2010. While we have stayed true to our mission of accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, in many ways, our company has evolved beyond recognition over the past decade, and that is a great thing. In fact,
Let me know if you can hear it higher now.
the evolution of Tesla has further accelerated over the past 15 months since I last addressed you in June of 2019. You'll hear more about many of the specific achievements from Elon later in the agenda, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the Tesla employees across
Let me know if you can hear it.
who have done a tremendous job of executing and staying focused on delivering for our customers and shareholders
I mean, this honestly, the sound comes from Tesla. So
periods in our lifetimes. As a board, we have always taken a long-term view. We have made decisions and supported decisions made by the management team that
hmm.
may not have seemed obvious
It's even low on it's even low on my
and
end.
will
So
continue to deliver breakthrough results. But it's also important to remember why we do
it's
this.
up all the way.
As a company, we are focused on addressing one of the biggest environmental challenges of our generation: how to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. The last year in particular has seen a tremendous increase in momentum in the movement to sustainable energy from both shareholders and the general public. So in addition to developing a mission
Guys,
in transportation and energy
this is
policy,
as
we have been
high as
focused
it
on
goes.
contributing the right facts and information to this important issue. And we released an extended version of our impact report in April of 2020. In this year's version, we have covered in great detail many areas that are important to our shareholders and our customers alike, such as our environmental impact, greenhouse and other noxious gas elimination, our supply chain efforts, especially in cobalt, and our culture and people focus. We hope that by continuing to put this data out there, we will underscore to the world the importance and impact that we are having as a company. Lastly, continuous
All right.
feedback and
So,
input from all
do you guys want?
stakeholders.
I don't know if you guys want to sit through this. We'll wait for the actual battery day. I'm actually going to turn her down just a little bit. I mean, you know, she's just reading off a script, just going through the shareholder meeting. So let's just talk about price action, and let's just talk about the Tesla chart as well as some of the other charts. You know, obviously we have Nike earnings coming up as well. But that is, you know, that's literally as high as the thing goes. I have my input set up correctly. I know how to do this, but that's as high as it goes. Um, all right. So when when the battery day event comes up, then I'll turn my mic down and I'll turn again. I'll turn the video up as loud as possible. But anyway, yeah. So in terms of price action on Tesla, I was asked what is the highest that it can go, and I was saying that $500 was what I was initially looking at. Even when I did the last trading video, I said that there's natural resistance at $500. Currently, after hours, we're at $431, so about $7 above what we closed at, which is good. And based on this, I assume if they announce anything that's remotely positive, then we will likely see the price push up higher. So, we might see a 460 target, potentially, above, depending on what they announce. The good news is that, we have a neutral strategy on Tesla. And again, if you're part of the trading group, sign up down below if you want to. But if you're part of the trading group, you would have had that play between 380 and 545 is what we need Tesla to finish on Friday by. Let me go back to the chat. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the chart or about trading, let me know, or about the options, let me know. So more shit framing. Tesla. Gunmetal says maybe they're whispering nothing much. Yeah, let's just talk about the price of eggs. Fast forward, heroes coming next time. Have it. He said next time have it fixed, dude. The audio is working. The lady's audio was really low. Alistair says I would be happy with 460. Yeah, I would be too. Especially since we bought right right before the market close. He says, "Bro, battery day started." Okay, let me go back to the stream then.
Provided to you and posted also to our virtual meeting site. The time is now 1:49 p.m. Pacific time, and I declare that the polls are now open. Move on. Voting process. Stockholders have the past 3 weeks, given that almost all of the votes, the vote counts were already submitted before the hearing. However, if you wish to vote now or to change your prior vote, you may do so to the virtual meeting site.
Guys, I'm not talking. For those of you that are saying my mic is low, I'm not talking.
And 3, to ratify
Just open the stream in another tab and watch along.
LLP,
Yeah, there you go.
independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year of 2020. Tesla's board has recommended that our stockholders vote for each of the director nominees and for each of those proposals. In addition, we have also received 4 stockholder proposals, as described in the proxy statement. I would like to remind our stockholders that Tesla's board has prepared a statement in opposition to each of these proposals, which appear in the proxy. The first stockholder proposal is an advisory vote regarding paid advertising. Our board has recommended that our stockholders vote against this stockholder proposal.
Guys, let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me right now?
To us from,
Let me know if you can hear me.
however, Mr. Danforth has notified us that neither he nor his representative will be presenting the proposal at the meeting today, so we will continue. The second stockholder proposal is an advisory vote regarding
Here, I'm going to send you the link
in our governing documents.
for those that are asking for the link.
Has recommended that our stockholders vote against this stockholder proposal. The proposal comes from James McRitchie, who is on the line to present the proposal today. Mr. McRitchie, I would like to invite you now to present. You'll have 3 minutes.
I'd like to thank the board for holding such an innovative hybrid meeting during these difficult times. Proposal number 5 basically asks
Guys, let me know if you can hear me.
voting standards to amend bylaws. I first introduced a proposal on this subject at the
Okay, loud and clear. Okay, cool.
council meeting. Supermajority provisions are generally used to entrench incumbent directors and managers. Academic research finds that reducing such devices is associated with higher returns. The board's opposition statement argues they tried to adopt a majority standard last year, but shareholders rejected it. However,
Nice.
99.6% of shares voted for the proposal. Only 0.
All right, thanks, guys.
The problem was that a little more than 35% of shares went unvoted. The vast majority of retail shareholders often don't bother to vote.
All right, the suggestion earlier I think was good. If you want, you can open up the stream on a separate window if you want to hear it. I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna turn it down right now because there isn't much going on. Let us check in on the price. Yeah, I mean it's hovering between 429 and 430. I mean, obviously this is expected. Not much is going on in terms of the actual Battery Day event. It's just a shareholders meeting. But yeah, what I was saying before was, you take a look at stocks like Facebook sitting at the 100 MA. You take a look at stocks like Amazon sitting at the 100 MA. I mean, these are optimal buy points. Somebody had asked me the question before on the Discord chat, that they were asking me, how do you know that the stock won't fall below that? Like, why are you okay buying here? And, how do you know that the stock won't fall below that? Well, you really don't. I mean, obviously you're not a fortune teller. However, these are optimal buy points because they represent, strong support levels. So if you don't buy here, when are you really going to buy? And I would much rather buy when the stock is sitting at a strong support point like this than, buy at the all-time high, like 500 for Tesla or 3,500 on Amazon, and see it tank from there, because it might be a very long time before you can actually recover your funds. But NASDAQ in general today had a really nice relief rally. We're up almost 2% on NASDAQ today, about 0.5% yesterday. And NASDAQ, I mean, if you're not familiar with it, these are all the companies that it contains. So you see really like in the top 20, everything was up today except for Tesla, which actually, had a down day. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla actually make some of these losses up here in after hours. I do expect it to open up a little higher tomorrow than it is today. But yeah, like I said, the price keeps hovering back and forth between, right around the 430 mark. He says, let's see. Oh, I got to catch up on the I got to catch up on the chat. Okay, perfect. I hear you fine watching Tesla on my computer and it works fine. Yeah, just watch it on your computer. But let me see if you guys have any trading questions, let me know. And then we'll step through that. Then we'll step through that. The other thing that I'm monitoring is Nike earnings. So we actually have a position on Nike as well. And I think their earnings just came out. So let's look. It says Nike shares soar as sales top expectations thanks to digital growth, strength in China. Blah, 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 blah. It said Nike said sales in China during the latest period rose 6%, while sales in North America went down 2%. Nike's digital sales jumped 82%. So we do have a good position on Nike as well. Let me check on what Nike's chart looks like at the moment. So I do have Nike shares that I bought actually pretty low. It was right around the third or fourth week of March, and we see that Nike currently is at around 125 right now. Holy hell! So Nike actually went up after hours, after beating expectations by a good 8-9%. Now we do tend to see these after hours rallies, kind of tamped down. So by market open, we could open around the same level that we're at currently. Let me go back and take a look at the chat. Lost on Tesla, 4.72%. What do you think about Wall Street bets? I think it's hilarious. Why do you keep annoying my Rosie? Trade platform you recommend for options for beginners? I mean, for options for beginners, you're okay using Robinhood. The only thing that I don't like about Robinhood is sometimes it's hard to get your order filled. And then obviously they don't have support. So a lot of times when you need to exercise an option, or if you get assigned on a short option, they don't really have any robust customer service like a trade desk that you can call up and get some help. But if you're just starting out trading a couple of contracts, I mean, you're okay trading Robinhood. If it's not available in your area, look up something like interactive brokers or something. Nike 126.9. Yeah, pocket options. Dumping life savings into Tesla right now. Probably not a good idea. Do you expect Tesla to rally? I've already mentioned this a few times. It really depends on what they announce. I don't expect Tesla to go crazy unless Elon Musk has some monumental announcement that the market isn't aware about. And that they actually announce at the shareholders meeting. Let me check actually on Tesla battery day live stream. Let me check on their actual site, because a lot of you are saying that the video is behind. So let me see if I can get a more accurate stream on their site. Let's see.
Comes to us from the Sisters of Good Shepherd.
Yo. All right. God damn. I don't know. You'll have to repeat. I thought my Bluetooth died. Okay. Sorry. I'm not sure why my OBS messed up and literally took my audio all the way down to zero. But yeah. Anyway, so the question was, do you expect to see IV crush after these events? And the answer is yes, you tend to see this because in binary events, if you take a look at the option chain, you'll see that each week of the option chain, we have, IV, and usually the week that where binary events exist. Oh, you guys can't see this on the side, I don't think. Let me see if I can actually move it. Mm, Hold on 1 second. All right, you should be able to see it now. But if you take a look at the IV here on the side, you'll see that 153, 153.5% for this week's IV. Next week is 134, 126, 116, etc. So, IV is going down as we get further out into the weeks. But for this week, because we have a binary event, the IV is actually 153%. Now, Thinkorswim is projecting that we have a market maker move of $30 plus or minus $30 for this week, for this week's expiration. So it's expecting that, Tesla will either end up from this price, will either end up around 394 or, on the low end, or on the high end, around 454. So, somewhere around where we were expecting for Tesla, right? But yes, you do tend to see an IV crush after these binary events, which is why we end up selling into high IV situations. So even the Iron Condor play that we have here, we're selling the Iron Condor, so we're actually locking in the price, so that if IV drops, you actually don't get affected by it, and conversely, you actually benefit from it, because when IV drops and the price of this Iron Condor drops, well, you already sold it for a high price, and now that the price is low, you can close it by buying it back for a lot cheaper. So yeah, that's basically what I was saying when there was like 5 minutes of no audio. I'm not sure why OBS completely tanked my audio there. Uh, but thank you guys for telling me. How do you think competitors Neo and Run stocks will be affected, assuming yeah, I mean, there are sympathy plays there for sure. If you take a look, you can actually use something like the correlation coefficient. So if you pull up Neo's chart and you pull up an indicator that I'm using TradingView right now, but if you pull up an indicator called correlation coefficient, and you tie it to Tesla, you could see, how correlated a stock is to another. And if you look at Neo since March, the correlation has been almost perfect correlation with Tesla, one being the highest correlation. One being the highest correlation, but you see that it's correlated with Tesla about 0.95 to 0.98. Correlation has dropped a bit here, but it's still very high at 0.8. So there are definitely sympathy plays when it comes to other EV makers, right? As it relates to Tesla, but yeah. He says, could you take a look at the Apple chart and give your opinion for fun? Oh God, please, not 394. I assume you're talking about Tesla. Let's see what price it's at right now. Nah, Tesla's at 430, man. I think that you're just pulling our chain. Could you take a look? Oh, you mean 394 as in if it hits 394 because of the market maker move that I was discussing, this $30? Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but that's why we set up our Iron Condor in the range that we did. Again, Tesla only has to finish between $380 and $545, and we keep that entire $210 per contract. So even if it went to 394, if you're in that iron condor play, that neutral strategy play, then you're good. Elon is on. All right, let us go back to the live stream real quick, and I'll stop talking. Drive-in movie theater. I think it's been an incredible year, and I'd like to thank you for your support through tough times, good times. It's been great. Really appreciate everyone who's put their hard-earned money into Tesla, and I think it's worked out pretty well. This has been a good year, and I think there's many good years to come. So I'll go through the sort of the shareholder presentation, I think, fairly quickly, because the sort of real main event here is Battery Day. So really I'm just going through a recap of what's happened over the past year or so. Guys, open up the stream. In terms of our ability to create. Open up the stream on your own and watch it if you can't hear it. Huge kudos to the Tesla Shanghai team for being able to go from literally a dirt pile to volume production in 15 months. It's like, damn. Yeah. So, and I think something that's really quite noteworthy here is Tesla is the only foreign manufacturer to have a 100% owned factory in China. So this is often not well understood or not appreciated, but to have the only 100% owned foreign foreign factory in China is a really big deal, and it's paying huge dividends here. So we really wouldn't have the results. Guys, I know there's no volume or low volume, but open it up on your own. I posted the live stream link right there in the chat. Super appreciative of that. And we'll see. Just open it up in a new window. Continue to scale quite a bit from where it is right now. I think we really could expect that to be, over time, a factory that produces over 1 million vehicles a year. Yeah, it's cool. So let's see. So volume, we also reached in the past year volume production of the Model Y, and this was the smoothest launch that we've ever had. So I think we're definitely getting better at new vehicle launches and building factories and scaling production. As you've heard me say before, it's the hardest thing is scaling production, especially of a new technology. It's insanely difficult. Making a prototype is relatively easy. Let's check on the price real quick. And if I think like what is the real achievement of Tesla in sort of car company terms, it's like it wasn't making sort of exciting prototypes. It was that Tesla was really the first company in about a century in the U.S., the first U.S. company in the U.S. to reach volume production and be sustainably profitable. Like the crazy thing is this has really not happened in 100 years. That's the actual super hard part. And we now have 4 vehicles in volume production, S3XY. So also the toughest joke, I think maybe ever. It was a very difficult joke. So we also introduced the lowest cost solar in the U.S. It's only $1.49 a watt, and we really just simplified the whole value chain. So reduced sales and advertising. We got rid of a bunch of unnecessary costs, and really are just relying upon the fact that it is. He's just talking about generalities at the moment. Solar in the U.S., providing both retrofit and the solar glass roof, which I think is a really great product. A hard product to make work, but it will be a major product line in the future. Here's Tesla's price right here, aftermarket, $430. Of gap profitability, which was very difficult. Yeah. So, and so a testament to the hard work of people at Tesla. I mean, to to do this in extremely difficult times against a wide range of adverse circumstances was. Yeah, open up the stream in a new window. So, and I think the future is looking like I think very promising from sort of an annual profitability standpoint. So, um, in order to achieve, in order to sort of do well financially, you really need economies of scale, and you need ideally the best technology. And I think we've had the best technology for a while, but now we are also achieving economies of scale. So, and we're also rapidly improving autonomy, which is a massive value add to each car. Price is still around 430. You know, I think so I assume when he starts talking about the details of battery day, then you know we might see this price start running up. About the future value of Tesla. We also have consistent free cash flow generation. This is really important for growth, and a key element here is tightening up the time from when a car is ordered to when it is built and delivered. So for a company that's growing rapidly, it's extremely important to tighten the supply chain and to have from when parts arrive, put it into a car very quickly. And hey, what's up, Julian? What do you mean? What do I recommend you do with regards to the stock? I think that kind of payables timeline. Then I think that if you don't have any positions now, you're a little late, to be honest. For the short term. The faster you grow, the less money you will have, which is obviously bad. It's for capital-intensive situation. So just tightening up and having the parts move very quickly. But in the long term, I mean, you know, like I say all the time, you can't beat buying the dip, meaning wait until it retraces down to a major moving average or a major support. Alistair says special guest performance by Grimes. Many other countries in the region will be key to us tightening that total sort of chain of cash flow and getting it, essentially the faster we grow, the more cash. This is really important. That's also why it's important to have Giga Berlin complete, because then we'll have a factory in China, factory in the U.S. You bought in at 770. Oh, pre-split, I assume. And a factory in Europe. And I mean, even if for Giga Texas in Austin, even if we had exactly the same. Could you do some magic tricks while we wait for battery day? I mean, he's talking. I don't know any magic tricks. So in terms of delivering cars to the central U.S. and to the East Coast, it's just faster, costs less, and it fundamentally improves our economics. So I think this is also maybe something that's not fully appreciated of just how important. Is it going to go up? I mean, I've answered this like a million times already, but he would have to announce something revolutionary for it to go up, that much. You know, while the rest of the industry has gone down, Tesla has gone up. I think this speaks to thanks. And so I'd like to thank all the customers for taking a chance on Tesla and buying our product, and really hope you're enjoying it. This is really, you know, our sales. We're now at almost 433. I think a very pure, you know, it's very pure in the sense that it's like, it's growing on the basis of existing owners recommending. Is it possible Tesla's price would go down to 300 or 200? Possible? Yeah, I mean, we're in a market. Good way to grow. And then in 2019, we had 50% growth. Dumb question. How do I buy after hours on TD Ameritrade? You could just buy it. TD Ameritrade allows you to buy the entire after hours and pre-market. So you can buy it right now. I'm trying to buy, but order's not going through. I don't know how to help you. You can buy right now on TD Ameritrade. So, you know, I have TD Ameritrade too. So if I come in here and I click on buy, I can actually buy Tesla at 433.50. We're able to still see significant growth in one of the most difficult, in fact, I say probably the most difficult year of Tesla's existence. So, do you only trade blue chip stocks or penny stocks too? I trade anything where there's a optimal an optimal entry and a potential to make money. Seems like Elon Musk gained weight. Yeah, he mentioned this on Joe Rogan that he's been gaining a lot of weight. Yeah, Julian, 770. You got a good cost basis for long term for sure. Yeah, you have to select EXT. I think it's called in TD Ameritrade. EXT stands for extended hours. Tesla is ripping. Kenny G Production says. Let's see. 436. No, yeah, it was a good decision to buy. At market close when we bought it because we obviously went down 6% today. So we bought it at 424 for the short term play, and it's currently 436. Is TradingView hard to use in the beginning or to master? I mean, just like anything else, it takes just practice. It takes reps, right? He hasn't got to the batteries yet. No, he hasn't. So the stock price is just going up because he's speaking. So we're up about 3% so far after market. What's with the horning so lame? I think everybody's sitting in their cars because of the pandemic. So everyone pulled up to the parking lot in their cars and they're just honking whenever he says something cool. You think if it takes off, it will go down in a few days? Yeah, I believe that. Until at least S&P inclusion, which I think will happen by the end of the year. And then also we have earnings coming up, right? So Tesla's earnings are coming up. Let's see. Tesla's earnings, I think it's October 27th. Tesla's earnings are coming up. So yeah, I do think so. I mean, you could see that after the split, we had a drop. After the last earnings, we had a drop. After the earnings before that, we had a drop. So yeah, I mean, it's only natural because people start taking profit, right? Do you follow select few stocks or do you a screening of big gainers and ride the trend? My main source of income every week is options. So I have options expiring every week, and that's how I make money. And that is on a wide range of stocks. So whether you're talking about, vaccine stocks or, blue chip stocks or not. I mean, it really depends. The option trade has to be optimal and has to meet my criteria, but and then on the side, I just work on building a long-term portfolio, which to me is the most important thing. Do you think that you are top 10% of traders? um, I can't say that. I don't know. You would have to show me who the pool the selection pool is. Is holding long term viable? Joel Guerrero says. Well, it really depends on what your cost basis is. If you bought at $500, same thing. If you bought Bitcoin at 19,000, yeah, sure. I'm sure there's a point at which you will be profitable, but it really depends on your cost basis. If you bought 300, pre-split, then you're probably really good right now. If it goes up, when is the best time to take profit? It depends on the type of trader you are, Trin. Um, if you're a short-term trader, then the best time to take profit is anytime you're in profit, right? If you're a long-term holder, then you will want to hold through bumps and bruises and dips and crashes. It really depends on the type of trader that you are. Alistair says, F yes, he's in the top 10. Most traders lose. Yeah, I mean, if you're part of the group, the trading group below, you'll see all my trades are there for everybody to see, and you can make your own determination. What about this? Tesla shares are trading lower after it indicated that the company will likely not reach cell sufficiency in batteries. Yeah, I mean, Julian, that's why the stock price dropped 6% today, is because of this. This is what we were talking about. But that's also why we bought, because you want to buy the dips, right? You don't want to buy when the stock price is at all-time highs. And because Tesla dropped 6% today, there was a good opportunity to buy in the short term if we are planning on turning it around, after hours or pre-market. So, yeah, of course the stock price dropped, and he was managing expectations, because what if he didn't manage those expectations the day before, and what if he announced that, at the event, then the stock price might actually tank. So he's actually really smart and was managing expectations beforehand. And that's why you see a lot of companies out there or startups. They'll bring out a prototype, but they just can't get it over the hump for. So trading fraternity, Supreme Thinking says trading fraternity, and you know what, trading fraternity, I don't watch them a lot. But the stuff that I've seen that's been recommended to me, they're probably one of the only other channels that I was recommended or that I've seen where they really know what they're doing with regards to options. Adriano, so you're both a trader and an investor. Oh yeah, hell yes. Trading is how I make my regular income. Investing is how I set myself up for retirement. Which country do you like to live outside the U.S. and trade? There's so many countries I love, man. Mexico's up there. I've traveled a lot throughout Mexico. And I think it's one of the most underrated countries on planet Earth. So Mexico for sure. I love Spain. There's so many. I love Italy. Big Short. Do it on your phone. I do everything on phone. Blah blah blah. He's setting up a short squeeze. You should do a giveaway to get in your Discord. Not a bad idea. I might. Should one be either long or short-term holder? Is not mixing the two strategies good? I mean, it depends on the amount of time you have, honestly. Do you also think that this is a pre-market hype event and that a sell-off was looming in the shadows? Yes, I do think that. I do think that, obviously, depending on what he announces here, he's starting to get into some of the battery technology. So let me just listen real quick. All right, and I think that's basically it. All right, thank you. Is that it? All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming, and we'll be back in a little bit to go through the battery stuff. And there's a little bit more in addition to the battery. No, he's going to. A few extras as well. So I think you'll really like what we have to say on batteries. The battery stuff we're going to talk about is truly revolutionary and essential. Okay, so they're going to get into the batteries in a few. Good of Tesla. It's like if you look back in history and say what good did Tesla do? The good will be to by how many years did we accelerate sustainable energy? That's like the true metric. And then he said there's also some other cool stuff that they're going to showcase. So depending on what that is. Faster or slower. And so that's really like how I think about Tesla and how we should, How much percentage-wise is your portfolio dedicated to investing? they're two completely different. They're two completely different portfolios. I don't mix them up, honestly. What inspired you to start trading and at what age? I started trading when I was 19. And yeah, I went to school for finance. Always been
Hi, folks.
interested
That was
in
great. We're gonna
in
take a
finance
short
and
break
trading.
before we begin
Let's see what
Battery
this
Day
dude is
event.
saying.
So stay tuned. If you're local and here in the audience today, you can feel free to get out of the cars and stretch your legs, but try to stay near the cars because we're going to begin promptly in a little bit.
Okay. So they're about to start battery day, I guess, in a few minutes. They're just taking a break right now. Is it in general good? So yeah, let me know your trading questions. If you want me to look at a chart or you have any trading questions, feed them to me. Is it general a good strategy to buy a few days before quarter results of stocks which were doing all right during the months before, or is it a rookie mistake? Let me read that again. Isn't a general good strategy to buy a few days before quarter results of stocks? Well, the thing is, you tend to see, depending on the stock, right? But you tend to see stocks have pre-earnings rallies, and it really depends on the market itself. So if you take a look at Tesla, you'll see that before earnings. So these on TradingView, these E markers here represent earnings. You'll see that from earnings to earnings, there is a pre-earnings rally that can last a long time, and then on the earnings event itself, it ends up being somewhat lackluster because we already had such a big rally before the earnings, right? So in general, in the stock market, when you do see a big rally before earnings, then on earnings itself, you would not expect to see a lot of movement unless, again, there is a monumental announcement, either something completely unexpected and negatively or positively. But you see that before these earnings, you tend to have these monumental rallies, right? Same thing even before the actual split. I did a whole video on the split itself and the mechanics and stages of a stock split. But yeah, I mean, if you see a rally before the event, then on the event itself, you're not expecting to see a lot of movement, and that's the whole point. What I was saying with my last battery day video is that I think a lot of people have a misconception that you can somehow just buy before battery day, very shortly before battery day, and kind of strike gold and get rich on battery day. If that was the case, we'd all be rich, right? If it was that easy. But yes, when you do tend to see these earnings into these these rallies into these binary events, then the binary event itself and thereafter is either stagnant or usually you tend to see a little bit of a drop because people are taking profit after these massive rallies. So let's see. Do you have any finance? Oh, let me see. What percentage is in Tesla? I've gone as high earlier this year. I've gone as high as 10%. Definitely took some profits, the day of the split because I didn't want to be a part of that post-split decline. Now I would say it's around, it was around 4% before I ended up taking a lot of profits a week or two ago on a lot of stocks. But it was around 4%, and then now I have just options plays, which I don't count as part of my portfolio. Do you have any financial qualifications? I do have a degree in finance, and I did work at a brokerage, but do I have financial qualifications as in like a, CPA or something? Or CFA? No, I don't. Would you consider having your trading system for purchase? I don't have a trading system, man. I'm not really gonna shill a trading system. I have thought about putting out a super in-depth options trading course. And I'm talking about hours worth of material, breaking everything down from iron condors to spreads, to calendar spreads to butterflies. I have thought about that, and I still might go that route, but having your own trading system, I think anybody that tries to sell you a trading system is not. Well, let's just say they're probably selling you a pipe dream. I don't think there is a trading system that you can buy that will make you a better trader. You're much better off learning the fundamentals of how the markets work, how to read a chart, how to recognize patterns, how to recognize support and resistance. Those things will set you up for life, right? What do you think about Boxel? Lots of news. You seriously want to buy Tesla stocks right now? Well, I'm already up. I'm not saying buy it now. I was saying that at market close, when we were down 6%, you can buy it and you can sell after hours. But no. Have you heard of Jason Bond's trading service and also Kyle Dennis? I heard they are a scam. Sorry for asking, but I really want to know. Yeah, I mean, those are the ads that you get, right? They're part of, I think, Raging Bull or something. I mean, yeah, they make money off of selling these systems to people through ads. I if I I would me myself, no, I wouldn't spend any money on them. Let's see. Overall Tesla battery day, bullish or bearish? I've answered this quite a bit. I think it's very neutral. Hence the reason that I have an Iron Condor options play up, which is a very neutral play. What do you think on Friday calls for greater than 500, 600? I think that's a very bad play. Short term, you're expecting yourself to be right, significantly right in the short term. So I don't think people understand the way that call options work, but maybe I can give you a little bit of a quick course here. But if you were to buy, a 510, say, because you said greater than 500, if you were to buy a 510 call option on Tesla that expired on Friday, right? You're buying it for $4.50. And that's assuming that it stays this price tomorrow. Likely because we have gone up after hours, these will be more expensive tomorrow. But let's just say $4.50, $510. You're banking on Tesla to be 510 plus 450, so $514.50 by Friday, and that's just to make $0, right? That's just to break even. Now, if you had bought a call option today, because you see the call options here, you see how discounted the call options were today because Tesla dropped 6% today. So if you bought a call option here and then sold it, tomorrow or the next day, fine. But if you're going to buy a call option tomorrow where, all these prices will be inflated, all these prices will be green, and you held that till expiration, well, you're banking on yourself to be significantly right, or all your money is gone. That's why I like mostly selling options, not buying options. And I also like strategies that involve some sort of spread, because you don't have to be significantly right. You could be generally right. So for instance, the Iron Condor that we have on Tesla, I only Tesla only has to be between $380 and $545, and I get to keep 100% of what I sold it for. So yeah. Let's see. What broker? Wait. Got my volumes all the way up and I cannot hear shit. You can't hear me? I think everyone else can hear me, right? Can you guys hear me? I'm sure you can hear me. Anyway, let's see. Hi. Do you think Workhorse will continue to rise after tanking a bit today? I know the contract with USPS is a big factor. Well, we could take a look at the Workhorse chart. Let's see. Actually, let me check on if they started. No, it looks like it's still a break. All right. It didn't. I mean, I guess it dropped. It dropped 11% today. I would never buy this at this level. I don't mind if you had an options play on Workhorse or something, but Workhorse basically was at all-time highs, right? And And are these all-time highs? Yeah, was basically at all-time highs. And I would essentially wait for a retracement. So once something starts falling, you really want to look for areas of support in order to kind of get a sense for where you should buy back, or else you're just buying back in willy-nilly. But here we had an all-time high back in July, so you can actually take this, and if you drew this line out, you could see that all-time high coincides with some support that we see. We saw 3 or 4 candles around here, plus the 21 EMA right here, right? So if you bought at this level, then that would actually be one of the optimal potential entries, because you're actually eyeing a level where there were a lot of markers on Workhorse. But no, I would not just buy randomly here because we had a drop at 11%. It would have to go to a recognizable level. Another level, which I would probably load up a lot more on, is this support level that you see here, because there's so much time spent at this level, meaning that's where investors are, or traders are comfortable buying Workhorse at. So but yeah, no, I do think Workhorse is a decent company. Certainly a lot better set up than something like Nikola at the moment, right? All right, can we buy Pfizer shares right now? Oh, okay. People are throwing all kinds of stuff at me. So Boxel, let's take a look at Boxel. Pfizer, yes. I mean, I think Pfizer is a great growth stock long term. And the reason is because it's not just a vaccine play, but it's actually a lucrative pharmaceutical company. Now, Boxlight, I actually like a play on Boxlight here. We pierced the 21 EMA for the first time in over a month, and then just eyeballing it, I can tell that we already broke the trend line that we have going down here. So you could make an entry into Boxlight. Also, take a look at the volume that we see here. This volume is astronomical compared to what we did. You'd have to go back to mid-July to see any sort of volume comparable to this. So yeah, I don't mind an entry on Boxlight here. Just I wouldn't overextend myself, especially being that it's a penny stock. It's something that can really wipe out a large position with fractional moves. So let me check on battery day. Nope, still an intermission. Okay. I can hear you. Okay, so that's Boxel. Let me go back up. Spot. Spotify, I do have a put spread position on Spotify. So we sold a put spread on Spotify. And if you don't believe me, actually, you can actually see it here. So let's see. And again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. But if we look at Spotify, where is it? Okay, buying the 245, 247 and a half call spread on Spotify expiring. Oh no, wait, I rolled it. Okay, here it is actually. The 237 and a half, 32 and a half put credit spread on Spotify expiring October 30th. But yeah, I mean, this is the type of chart you want to see on value stocks or on growth stocks where, there is a huge a discount based on where it was at. So it formed a double top and it dropped almost 25%. And was sitting on the 100-day moving average, so I was comfortable buying it there. I do think there's a good entry here. I think they're starting the Tesla event again. But yeah, you can see the double top on Spotify here. Let's go back to the event.
SVP of Powertrain and Energy Engineering at Tesla, and I'm incredibly excited to talk about what we've been doing with batteries here at Tesla.
Great. So let's get the clicker.
Guys, go back to the stream because they're about to start battery day.
So obviously the issues we're facing are very serious. With climate change, and we're experiencing these issues on a day-to-day basis. It's incredibly important we accelerate the advent of sustainable energy. Time really matters. This presentation is about accelerating the time to sustainable energy. So past 5 years were the hottest on record. We have what looks like a wall for CO2 ppm. It's obviously, this time is not like the past. It's really important that we take action. Running this climate experiment is insane. So,
Especially when it's
So they're talking about
yes, we're gonna run
environmental damage and climate change.
and not run this experiment any longer.
yeah.
Tesla's up to 438 now. So up nicely on our position.
There is a lot of good news though. A lot of people may not be aware that wind and solar comprise 75% of new electricity capacity in the U.S. this year. So this is a really major. So the grid is going sustainable very, very quickly. Now it's also worth noting that the length of time that power plants last is on the order of 25 years. So even if 100% of energy generation was sustainable, it would still take 25 years to convert the grid. And it's also worth noting that in the past 10 years, power production from coal has dropped in half. So it went from 46% of electricity in 2010 to 23% in 2020. So this is a massive improvement. So good things are happening on a lot of levels. We just need to go faster. So in terms of Tesla's contribution, we've delivered over 1 million electric vehicles, 26 billion electric miles driven, and many gigawatt hours of stationary batteries, 17 terawatt hours of solar generated. So I think solar is sometimes underweighted at Tesla, but it is a massive part of our future.
Here are the prices right here. 437 post market. So up 3% post market already.
So we intend to play a significant role in all three. So to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy, we must produce more EVs. They need to be affordable and a lot more energy storage while building factories faster and with
Day trading Tesla can be quite hazardous. Bruce, it's actually depending on what's going on. I mean, the split was actually one of the easiest things to trade. And you can see my videos on the split.
We used to talk in terms of gigawatts. In the future, we'll be talking in terms of terawatt hours. So this is what's needed in order to transition the world to sustainability.
Yeah, and you can see we're talking about 100x growth in batteries for electric vehicles to achieve this mission. And we are going to get there, just a matter of how fast, and our intention is to accelerate it.
Yeah. You basically need on the order of roughly 10 terawatt hours a year of battery production to transition the global fleet of vehicles to electric.
And the average vehicle lasts 15 years, so we're talking about 150 terawatt hours, give or take.
I think this is where they're going to announce the million-mile battery or something similar.
Yeah, so it's a lot of batteries, basically.
And then on the grid side, we have a similar mountain to climb. 1,600 times growth from today's grid batteries to go 100% renewable on the grid and to take all of the existing heating fossil fuel uses in homes and businesses 100% electric.
Yeah, and this number, I think, might grow even more, as the world economy.
Bruce Ingles, the 6 steps were on point. Yeah, I didn't create those. If you're talking about the stages of a split, I definitely didn't create those. It was something that was based on a study of so many stock splits in the past. Mauricio says, review Etsy, please. I will after the main announcements here on Tesla.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
So today's batteries can't scale fast enough. They're just too small. For Giga Nevada, 150 gigawatt hours per year is like what we probably expect to make out of there. But this is really pretty small in the grand scheme of things. That's only 0.15 terawatt hours.
Wow, Tesla's price, $441 right now.
We would need 135 fully built out Nevada gigafactories to achieve.
So 4% up after hours.
Scalable enough of a solution. We need a dramatic
Guys, I can't make it any louder. In terms of the
we should view
the
this
internal volume.
as more than just a question of money. Money is sort of like an ethereal thing, but it's really the amount
You'll
of
have to
effort
open up the
and
live
time
stream on your own. I apologize.
effort, in terms of people and machines, and depending on how efficient that effort is, um, for a given amount of effort, you want the most amount of batteries. So it's not just a question of like, well, if we had $2 trillion, tomorrow you could make this. It's not that easy. You actually need to organize a massive number of people, build a lot of machines, build the machines that make the machines, and so it's incredibly important to have that effort yield the most number of batteries. So and then goal two, obviously, we need to make more affordable cars. I think one of the things that troubles me the most is that we don't yet have a truly affordable car, and that is something that we will make in the future. But in order to do that, we've got to get the cost of batteries down. We've got to and we've got to be better at manufacturing, and we need to do something about this curve. The curve of the cost
Tesla
per
and Nike
kilowatt
after
hour
hours are
battery
blowing my
is
mind
not
today.
very
Yeah, I have a
fast.
position on both.
So we've given this a lot of thought over many years.
Proud Babylonian. Can you
It's
hear?
radically
You can actually hear the
cost per kilowatt
the
hour.
audio from the stream. That's crazy.
It's been somewhat flattening out actually in recent years. So
I mean, early growth was promising, but you can see we're kind of
Stefan Bozeman, 4% pre-market is not that much actually. During the last phase of the run, it was like 7 to 12%, and went back to close. Yeah, I mean, we still have the entire after hours, which is going to last another 2 hours, and then and then we have the pre-market run up.
The rate of improvement of the affordability of cars is just not fast enough. So that's why we got Battery Day.
Yeah. To make the best cars in the world, we designed vehicles and factories from the ground up.
Yeah.
And now we do this for batteries as well.
Yeah. It's weird, the slides don't show up quite right.
1 second, guys.
That one's current, supposed to be current.
So let's get started. We have a plan to halve the cost per kilowatt hour.
All right, let's see.
And it's not a plan that rests on a single innovation, some research project that'll never see the light of day. It's a plan that has taken creative engineering and industrialization across every facet of what makes a cell into a battery pack, from raw material to the finished thing.
6% up after hours
Go
now.
through that plan with you today, step by step, and build up.
Thinking about selling some of my stake.
And how we accelerate this transition and make our vehicles and our grid batteries more affordable.
Yeah. I mean, we basically thought through every element of the battery, well, almost every element. There are a few more elements that we won't get to today, but we will get to in the future.
Yes. So first, before we get too far into it, let's talk about what is in a battery cell. We've got the cap and the can, negative and positive terminals of the cell. When you open that cell, you've got a tab connected to those terminals, what we call the jelly roll, which is the wound electrodes on the inside. You can actually see what this looks like as you unwind it. This is over 1 meter long in a typical 2170 cell. So it's quite a long winding process. And you can see
I'm thinking of adding more shares right now. What do you think? I'm not a FOMO buyer. I like adding. I like adding on dips and crashes. Not a huge fan of adding shares here. No, I'd much rather play options.
There we go.
At this point, what is the price to buy Tesla? The time to buy Tesla was when it was sitting at, either the 21 moving average or the 50-day moving average for a very long time. Will you be telling us to sell? No, because I don't know when you bought. I can't manage every single person's portfolio. If I buy Tesla now, what is the price going to be at market open? Nobody knows, Jack. Nobody knows. After hours doesn't tell you what it's going to open at.
Actually, so a slight note on why is the one called 18650, although not on the slide, versus the 2170, is that the first two digits refer to the diameter, and the second two digits refer to the length. So that helps explain why are these weird. What's up with these weird numbers? But like nobody could explain to me why there was an extra zero. So I said like, okay, well,
Zabby says
maybe
Nike's
zero
at 131.
explain in future form factors. So that's why it's technically it's like the 18650.
I might sell my Nike at this point.
2170 because we just got rid of the extra zero because it's pointless.
And this was a evolutionary step going from 1865 to 2170, bringing 50% more energy into the cell. But when we look to the ideal cell design, if we were to do it ourselves, we need to go beyond just what we're looking at us in front of us and study the full spectrum of options. So as you can see, we kind of swept the key figures of merit, how much we can reduce the cost, and how much vehicle range increases as we change the outer diameter of the cell. We found a sweet spot somewhere around 46 millimeters. But it's not just about a bigger form factor. Like anybody could make a bigger form factor.
Any fool could make a bigger form factor. We not any fool.
Yeah, exactly. There are problems as you make cells larger. In fact, supercharging and thermals in general become really challenging as you make bigger cells. So this was the challenge that our team set our sights on to overcome. And we did. We came up with this tabless architecture that maybe you've heard about that basically removes the thermal problem from the equation.
TTA, you need to calm down. If they ask me questions, I'm going to respond.
Form factor and the simplest manufacturing process. And this is what we mean when we talk about tabless. It's kind of a beautiful thing.
That's what these t-shirts.
Julio Lopez. Well, for some reason, buying at the 21 and 50 EMA for Tesla over time makes you a crap ton of money. Yes, for sure.
Laser patterned them and enabled dozens of connections into the
At what price do you plan to buy again? When the next time it dips. Until then, I'm playing options.
fewer parts.
What does FOMO mean? Fear of missing out, but really it means
Electrical path length,
when you buy at the high.
all the thermal benefits.
Yeah, this is important to appreciate. Like basically the distance that electron has to travel, is just much less. You actually have a shorter.
Honestly, unless you're a mechanical engineer, I don't think these kind of events will drastically alter market until people. Well, it's already up 5% after hours, so I don't know what you're talking about, Patrick.
More power. The power to weight ratio is actually better than the smaller cell with tabs. This is, again, like this is quite hard to do. So it's nobody's done it before. And it really took a tremendous amount of effort within Tesla engineering to figure out how do we make a freaking tabless cell and have it actually work and then connect that to the top cap. And it's there's a whole bunch of things that we're keeping a little secret sauce here that we're not telling everything. But
Sometimes
They haven't made a huge announcement, by the way,
it
guys.
took us a lot of trials, but we're happy where we ended up.
yeah, I mean everything's simple in recollection. After you simple, everything it's hard until it's discovered, and then it's simple. So anyway, there's a lot of really cool things going on that enable tabless, and it's really due to a really great engineering team. Drew and the rest of the team have done amazing work in achieving this tabless construction.
Zia, if you're not
Sort of sounds a bit silly to some
a
people,
trader, then don't trick yourself into thinking so. So buying and selling back and buying and selling back.
Electricals to be
If
able
you don't know how to
get
read a chart, if you're not used to trading,
winding and coding,
Yeah.
and
that
thermal
you might
benefits.
get yourself in hot water.
elaborate on that.
All right, Tesla price is dropping now because people are taking profit.
The system
So it was at like 445. It's now back down to like 436.
you can't do continuous motion production.
The church says buy and hold, guys.
There's a rate at which you can start and stop and accelerate again.
Not the most optimal,
Really
but
slowing
sure.
down the rate of production, and then sometimes you get the tabs wrong, and you also lose a little bit of active area. It's really a huge pain in the ass to have tabs from a production standpoint.
Yes. And so when we put it all together,
Supreme
and
thinking.
go to our new 80 millimeter length, 4680, we call this new cell design. We get 5 times the energy with 6 times the power, and enable 16% range increase. Just form
This
factor.
event has nothing special with news. Yeah, correct. Not yet.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
So, like I said, they would need to announce something astronomical, monumental, something
And
unexpected
to clarify that when we see
for
these,
it to
plus the 16% or whatever the
really see a rally.
increases, these are the amounts due just to that particular innovation.
Yes.
So we'll list a whole bunch of innovations, and then when you add them up, you get a total improvement in energy density and cost. These numbers are what refer to just this thing.
Yeah, and I want to stress, this is not just a concept or a rendering. We are starting to ramp up manufacturing of these cells at our pilot 10 gigawatt hour production facility just around the corner.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a video of some of what's going on in the plant. Now, I mean, to be clear, it will take about a year to reach the 10 gigawatt hour capacity. This is important to appreciate. Like when you build a factory, there's a certain capacity that you design to, and then it takes some period of time to actually achieve that capacity. So I would say it's probably about a year before we get to the 10 gigawatt hour annualized rate.
All right. I mean, unless they announce something
The actual
significant.
plants will be more on the order of, maybe 200 gigawatt hours, maybe more over time.
And thank you.
Let's see.
But let's stack up everything we just saw.
Is Tesla going to go up tomorrow likely? No, not if there isn't anything significant.
And now that you've been teased on this factory, we're going to go on and walk step by step through that factory and discuss a series of innovations there. When thinking about the ideal cell factory, we have inspiration.
All right, so they're talking about the factory right now.
The paper and bottling industry, where from humble beginnings, over a century of innovation has enabled mass-scale, continuous motion, unbelievably low manufacturing cost. And when we think about the lithium-ion industry, which is really only in its third decade of high-volume production, it has so far to go to achieve similar scale and simplicity. And that was the inspiration that we set out for the team as we thought about how to marry cell design and manufacturing in the best possible factory. And let's talk a little bit about what's in a cell factory. First, there's an electrode process where the active materials are coated into films onto foils. Then those coated foils are wound in the winding process we just talked about, where if you do have tabs, you have to stop a lot. Then the jelly roll is assembled into the can, sealed, filled with electrolyte, and then sent to formation, where the cell is charged for the first time, and where the sort of the electrochemistry is set and the quality of the cell is verified. And we set out at every step of this process to try to take that inspiration we just showed and think about how we make those processes.
All right, the stock price is back to around where it closed at, 427, just a few dollars higher.
Important processes is where it all begins.
Stop loss does not work after hours, right? Yes, correct.
And
But limit orders work after hours.
I'm going to walk through what's in that wet process. You've got mixing where the powders are mixed with either a water or a solvents for the cathode.
All right, guys, I'm about to end the stream because I gotta run and do something. But I'm about to end the stream now. Let me turn down the volume on this. So basically, with regards to Tesla, I mean that's why, in my view, I was saying that a neutral strategy is probably the best one. Because these binary events, as I said, unless something unexpected happens, everyone knows about them. It's common information, and they're usually priced in. So didn't expect the price to go crazy, and I'm pretty neutral on the event itself, and that's why we had that Iron Condor play between $380 and $545. If you want to learn how to trade options, sign up to the trading group below. I also do one-on-ones. but those spots usually go up really, really quick by the first of the month. And yeah, if Tesla doesn't, if they don't have some sort of surprise ending there, then we will likely see it hover around the same price range, 424, 430. So in terms of when I would buy Tesla again, I mean, we'd have to look at the chart. I'll take a look at it one more time before I leave. But because that's been a common question, when am I going to buy Tesla again? I don't typically buy, like I said, I don't buy at the high. I do wait for retracement. So I mean, yeah, today we had a stock drop of 6%, and I bought in order to take advantage of a really short swing after hours or pre-market. But if we're talking about the next big spot to buy in, then if you look at the chart, you'll see that it really hinges on these major moving averages. So the last time I bought was when we retested the 50-day MA after the split. We hit about 330. That was the last time I bought, and I sold after we started seeing some resistance here at around 450, 460. The next time I buy will likely be at a retest of a major moving average again. Obviously, I bought some today pre-market, and we are at the 21 EMA, so it's really not that bad of a buy. And I'll see how Tesla is doing tomorrow morning pre-market. If we do get a pump to 460, 470 again, or maybe even higher, then I will likely sell it. But between now and S&P inclusion, or between now and the next earnings, which are coming up October 27th, there isn't much to be bullish on in terms of, in terms of Tesla. I'm not saying you have to be bearish, but I'm saying the price can't go up forever. So we could very much so trade, sideways in a certain range until some of those events take shape. But yeah, I mean that's really it for Tesla. Anticlimactic so far. Obviously, if I who knows what happens if they announce something significant at the end of battery day. But it's a pretty neutral event so far, pretty neutral price action, nothing too crazy going on. So thank you for hanging out with me. Sorry for the audio issues if you experience some. I will try to address those the next time that we are live streaming from some external source. But stay safe out there, traders. Peace.